My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC picks and DraftKings lineups run by professional fighters and MMA insiders. Every week, I join Nick Newell, professional fighter, professional model, and ESPN Top 10 guest, along with Dan Kramer, UFC fighter, Bellator fighter, Ultimate Fighter alumni, and Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. And we break down every single fight, the betting odds, the DraftKings picks, and we set you up for success. Next up at UFC 259, Blachowicz versus Adesanya, we have Joseph Benavidez versus Askar Askarov in what, in my opinion, is the biggest question mark of the entire night is how is this fight going to go? We have the fought, 15 times for the belt in Joseph Benavidez versus just the absolute surging up-and-comer Askar Askarov. This is my eyes are going to be glued to the TV for this one. So before I give my pick, I'll start with you, Nick, and I know you're buddies with Benavidez in real life here. So what are your thoughts and how do you think this goes?
I mean, Askarov has been great lately. He's 13-0-1. His one draw is to Brandon Moreno, who fought to a draw with the champion, who beat Benavidez, if you want to go by MMA math. Unfortunately, life doesn't work like that. It's not MMA math. Askarov has a win over Pantoja, who looked great against Cape. He beat Tim Elliott, who's on this card, who's nasty. He was fighting overseas. He beat some really good guys, and he's tough. But Benavidez is good at what he's good at, and he's good at, throwing these weird loopy strikes. He throws a lot of push kicks and hooks, and the timing is off, and no one really does it like him. And at 125, there's not a lot of people that can put the lights out with one shot, and he's that guy. I don't feel like Askarov has that same power that Figueiredo has, and even Joseph Benavidez being more hittable than most people at 25, he gets away with it because not a lot of guys have power. But he did get put out by Mighty Mouse and Figueiredo. But I think he gets it done this fight. He's an underdog. He lands at overhand. Hurts him a couple times. I don't know if he'll finish him, but it'll be enough to steal a couple rounds, maybe even get his patented guillotine choke. So I'm going with Benavidez, but as he gets kind of older, that speed kind of goes. So I'm not going to touch him in my lineup, but I would put money on him, and I do think he's going to win.
Yeah, it's definitely the big question mark to me for Benavidez is what did those two fights against Figueiredo do to him? I mean, he lost those pretty badly, and I don't know if that was it. I thought he actually retired after that last loss, or at least was thinking about it. So I just don't know if that loss was so bad. That's probably the last title shot he's going to get if he's just sort of checked out after that. But let's assume he didn't. His scrambling is some of the best scrambling you'll ever see in any fight for any mixed martial artist ever. His speed is ridiculous. And yeah, he has 7 losses. Those 7 losses are to the best people on planet Earth. So I just think at plus anything, I'll take that as far as betting is concerned. And Askarov is very good, very talented, absolutely an up-and-comer, and is definitely going to do big things in this division. But he's been in trouble in every single one of his fights. So Brandon Moreno hurt him a few times in a draw. Tim Elliott took him down without any trouble, took him down a few times. And Pantoja took his back. So I just think Benavidez, with the wrestling he has, the speed that he hopefully still has, the power that he definitely has, I just think he can put that all together, and he can get the takedowns if he needs it. If he lands heavy, that's going to be a problem. And if it touches the mat, his scrambling is just so ridiculous that he either won't stay down there if he doesn't want to be, or he'll pass and take his back if he does. So I'll go to you, Jacob, and get your thoughts here on if you agree with me that Joseph Benavidez is just better everywhere and has been doing this for a little longer.
Yeah, you keep stealing. I need to go first from now on because you keep stealing all my stuff. Askar Askarov has been beat up in some of his fights. And I think DraftKings, his amount shows it. We've seen all the other undefeated fighters, right? And where they've been in DraftKings. This is an undefeated fighter who's only $8,300 because he's struggled in some of these fights. He gets the job done and he wins. But since he's been in the UFC, he has 1 split decision win and 2 decision wins. And if you give Joseph Benavidez, an opportunity, you're going to lose the fight. You said he's lost to champions. He's lost twice to Figgy, twice to Demetrius, twice to Cruz, who are the most dominant people in the last 15 years. And then the other one was to Sergio Pettis. So none of those guys are slouches. And the level of competition is just different here. Askar Askarov, he is undefeated. And he won those fights, but he's been in some real trouble. And Joseph Benavidez, even though he's lost, it's to the best of the best, literally. So I love Joseph Benavidez in this fight. I would gladly put my $100 on a plus 115. He didn't quite make it in my lineup. I did some other things, but if you're looking for an underdog, this is a great place to be in Joseph Benavidez.
Yeah. I think we all agree. So Dan, I'll let you close this out if you're going with the old vet in this one.
Yeah, no, I think you guys nailed it. This is going to be a close fight. Benavidez has, so much more experience than Askarov. Askarov has looked good with his kind of grappling heavy approach, but again, he got in trouble against Pantoja in a very close fight, got almost subbed a couple different times. He definitely had no fear of subs because he just kept going for those takedowns, and every time Pantoja scrambled, he ended up in a bad spot. But it was enough to win on the scorecards. It's only his 3rd fight in the UFC. And I think when you're fighting against a guy against Benavidez, who we just listed has fought everybody, I think that is a factor. I think Benavidez, even at 36 years old, is still good enough, still scrambly enough to make this an interesting fight. Hopefully prevent the takedowns, hopefully keep Askarov from just holding him up against the fence, trying to take him down. And I think he finds some space and can land some of those weird loopy shots he throws. I mean, his last 2 losses, were both to the champ. And realistically, in the first fight, he looked really good in that first round. He was catching him with some looping shots, and then he got put away. But he did not look terrible. The second fight, he got finished quickly. But again, it's against Davis and Figueiredo. So I think Benavidez is still one of the best in the world. And I think this will be a fight that shows whether or not Askar Askarov is as good as people are thinking. So I'm taking Benavidez for the $7,900. I wish he was a little bit cheaper, but I've got him in my lineup right now at the $7,900. And at plus 115 odds, I would probably take him in a bet as well at this point.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get a lot of questions answered when this fight's said and done. So it's going to be an exciting one. I'm looking forward to it. Before you go, check out the description below. In there, we have links to our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, and more importantly, to our DraftKings League. Check out the league, join the league, participate in the contests, and as we get going and as you start winning, we're going to start handing out gift cards and participating and doing things like that. So check those out. Every week, there are drops on every fight card. So make sure you check out this channel and our social media on Saturday before the fights start so that you have our most updated lineups and picks.